Where's the mic? Okay. Hey guys, we're going to be doing another sort of Taco Imposters. I don't really know what to talk about, but I found this. It was something that they did on the Strike Back podcast. They do week in movies. This week in movies. I decided to just do like a year because like I couldn't find it. So if you look at, I decided 99 for the first year that for when I was born. So my birthday. So it is. So I just looked at the timeline of the 90s. Big thing that happened. You've got President Clinton is acquitted. NATO begins bombing on Yugoslavia. Colombia tragedy. Earthquake in Turkey kills 13,000 people. Women's soccer team wins. Up. NASA loses 2 Mars space probes. Egypt air crashes off the coast of World Trade Organization protests in Seattle. I mean, there's a lot of like weird things. Panama Canal is back to Panama. Is handed to Panama. There's stuff like this, Ricky Mania hits and they got Pokemon. Where's the Pokemon one? In that year, 20 years ago. Where is it? I just saw it. Where'd it go? Pokemon, no. Whatever. There was a Pokemon craze. So, then you look at like the big movies of these. Let's say, not mistaken. I think the biggest movie was Star Wars Episode 1. Okay, look. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not hate that as a kid, but also I didn't understand what was bad about it. I was like, it's Star Wars. How could Star Wars be bad? And in retrospect, it's like, well, now I know that it's bad, right? Because I realize, I'm like, okay, this is bad. It's a bad movie. But there's something about it that was like, I don't know, because it was Star Wars. So to me, I was a kid, Star Wars. How can you have bad Star Wars? That doesn't make sense. To me, it never made sense. I'm like, no, 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 no. It doesn't make sense. But now I realize, I'm like, yeah, I see what's wrong with it. I think the one thing that made it really bad, find Jar Jar Binks, and then Jar Jar Binks says, "Let's my home, right, where he lives, right." That's when I should have just been like, "Hey, Jar Jar, stay, stay home. Nobody wants you." But of course, I had to bring him along to find Anakin and all that. Like, why? I but that's kind of what happened. It's like, why? I don't get it. But that's what they made it like awful. I don't know. Don't ask me what thought their thinking was, but what were they thinking? But hey, it was. See, I don't know, it's a bad movie because they had a good pod racing scene and they had the lightsaber scenes, and they were like actually decent things, right? They were decent. Like you could watch that and be like get entertainment out of it. It was actually good stuff. Not that it was great, but it was fine, I guess. I don't know. I think it was that, and then the other one that I wanted to look at because that was the movie I was going to talk about, right? The movie I was going to talk about was Toy Story 2. I was going to talk about Toy Story 2 and say I honestly like that movie better than Toy Story 1. A lot of people say Toy Story 3 is like a masterpiece. It's like the perfect movie. And I'm like, if I would call it the perfect movie, but it's a fine movie. I've never finished that movie, but I've seen like 3/4 of the movie, a little bit more than 3/4 of the movie. So it was, I don't know, I don't love it. Two is my favorite because I don't know, something about it. It's just different. Also doesn't take like in first wow. In the first movies of franchises where it takes a while to get into like the rhythm. Well, it's already in the rhythm, so I don't like everybody, you hear everybody, and then like two is like great because I love the adventure they take and like where they find Al's toys and like toy barn and like because the whole premise is that Woody somebody okay it's Gross and this guy buys it because he knows, oh my gosh, that's a Woody doll and they're worth big bucks and I can sell it to. There was a Japanese toy company or toy collector maybe. Anyway, it was very much. Can he So then the rest of the toys go on an adventure to try and save Woody because they found out what that. Cause they had found like an anagram somewhere, and they figured out that it means an anagram for Al's Toy Barn, and they think that he's Al's Toy Barn, but he's not. He's across the street at Al's apartment, but they don't know that, so they're in Al's Toy Barn trying to figure the whole thing out. It's great. I love that movie. That movie was great. I, you know, I think the number one song of the 1990 was this. Was Britney Spears? Hey, maybe one more time. I'm not 100% sure. Every list I get is different. It's weird. I looked, I googled it. No, every list is different. I'm like, this is so stupid. But anyway, back to Toy Story. Toy Story, yeah, I like Toy Story 2 a lot. I think it's because I think it's just better. And then, oh, at the end, that's great. I love that movie. It's such a good movie. I think it's a movie. I'm not sure if it's the best movie of the 1990s, but it's a good movie. Good movie. 1999. Sorry. I liked it a lot. I did. I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was better than the first one. It's better than the first one. That's the thing. There's a couple of franchises, that one, Back to the Future, a few others, where it's like I like the second one better because it's fleshed out and it knows what it's doing. It knows what it wants. It's not like that first movie when like it takes forever to get like what we know of as a movie. It's like, oh, why? Why do I need all this introduction to the characters and the plot and all that stuff? It's kind of a little bit tedious in my opinion, which is why I think you can. I like the second one better because also it's like if you've seen the first one, there's almost no point to watching the first one because you know what happens in the first one, so just watch the second one. Like especially in Back to the Future because like you know, okay, there's going to be under the sea dance, and there's going to be the Biff and all that stuff, right? And then his dad and Marty and like I just like the second one better. The second Back to the Future is my ever, just ever. It's such a good movie. I don't know. So what was I saying? Yeah, yeah. So, but anyway, so I like uh, Toy Story better. I do. And it's the best movie of 1990, 99, but it's a good movie. I like it a lot. So, so I mean, such a good movie. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. But I don't know if I love it. I just really do like it because it's a good movie. It's a good movie of 1999. It's a good movie. 99. Yeah, I heard that whole thing about oh my gosh about Fui about Sony and Disney making some sort like break like not doing a deal to make Spider-Man movies anymore. Which I'm just like, really? Both of you have lots and lots of money, okay? Both of you have loads of money. You could just do it. It's because they think that they can do very well on their own. And it's like, yeah, sure, you could do okay on your own. But I don't know much about whatever. You know, you're both fine. Also, it's like you don't need each other really, but I'm sorry, but Sony, okay, Disney made Sony so much better. You know, so Disney made Sony because Sony basically ruined Spider-Man with the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man because Andrew Garfield Spider-Man are absolute crap. Apparently they were crap. I'm not 100% sure what you mean by crap because people are like garbage. And I'm like, I saw the second one. I didn't see the first one, but I saw the second one. I don't think it was garbage. The Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. I can see what you mean though when you say look at this, compare it to like the good stuff that's come out after that, and people go so much better. But they were going to make a third one, or at least a Sinister Six movie with like Sinister Six and like maybe a third one and all this stuff. But like apparently they never got to doing that, so I'm not 100% sure what happened there. But there was a cliffhanger at the end of the Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2, where it's like, oh look at that, there's going to be another movie, and then it's like, yeah, they have plans for like what something like 3 other movies. And it's like, oh really? It's like, yeah, it was great, and then never made any of them. I don't know. I hope they can come to some kind of agreement because it's kind of stupid when you think about it. Like, oh, come on, really? It was something like they made 98% of the box office profits were going to Sony. Come on. Their thing was 75%, and they couldn't. They said no. They didn't even make a counter offer. They were just like, nope, we're done. I'm done. Really? Like, yep. Oh yeah. Okay, whatever. I don't care. No offense, but like, come on, people. You not know what you're doing? But hey, what are you gonna do? There are big companies that don't need to do anything. They both make like billions of dollars a year, so they're fine. They're fine off. So they know what they're doing. So, but I mean, I just I don't know. Only saw Homecoming, not Civil War, Endgame, or whatever the ones the Avengers, and I didn't see the new one that came out. Okay, I have still not seen the first Avengers. Okay, so that's how behind I am with this like whole MCU stuff. I've not seen the first Avengers yet, so I'm just not a superhero guy. It's like westerns. I think they're gonna end up like westerns. There were so many westerns at one point in time that it was like disgustingly saturating the market, but but like, and then they just crashed. They just were like, nope. They just like tanked and just stopped making westerns because nobody wanted westerns, right? Now, I feel like that's going to be the same thing with superhero movies in terms of there are going to be a lot of so many superhero movies that people are just going to go, holy freaking moly, there's too many superhero movies, and it's just going to go and crap all over. Like it's just going to crash, and it's going to go, this is dumb. But I don't know. That's not going to be for a while because freaking Marvel's going to have their like MCU Phase 2 or whatever, and like a whole bunch of stuff where it's like, oh my gosh, really? Why? And you'll Phase 2 and Phase 3 and whatever, and it's gonna go for like the next 20 years, and then we're gonna see like this big crash because we're gonna be like, oh my gosh, there's so many, so many superhero movies that we're just gonna go, this is stupid. We're not gonna want to watch more superhero movies, you know? Not that that's a bad thing, but come on, people, really? How many superhero movies can you handle before we all go, this is stupid, you know? Whatever. I don't know. I never really liked superhero movies. I never watched a lot of superhero movies. Like I like some of the superhero movies. Yeah, some of the superhero movies before the MCU. So that's stuff like before Iron Man. So that's like the SpiderMans and the first um oh my gosh, X-Men, and I saw X-Men First Class. I saw um that 2008 Hulk movie that has nothing to do with anything. That one. There's a lot of movies that came out before the MCU that I kind of better. But I don't know. The MCU like pulled it all together and made like a universe, like a clear and concise universe. Like we could come together and like there's a like they're all interconnected, which is nice, I guess. But in my opinion, it's kind of a little bit like I don't know, a little bit much. But I don't know. It's okay, I guess. It's not that bad. Oh gosh. Yeah. So I will be right back. So yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I like Marvel, but or superhero movies in general, but I don't know. But Marvel's like the only people who make good movies, good superhero movies. Everybody else makes like DC is not even a comparison. You can't even compare to DC. DC is like not even close. Cause there's something about DC where it's like I don't know. I don't know. There's not really DC movies that have come out in like the last years. Compare that to Marvel has two good good superhero movies, and gosh, they do so bad. They just know what they're doing. Marvel, DC is just like, let's just put something out, and they put something out, and you just go, what is this? Because it's always about a character you kind of like. So it's like a Batman movie or a Superman movie or a whatever movie, and we're just like, or a Joker movie or a whatever, and we're just like, why did you have to screw it up though? I mean, I don't get it, but I mean, hey, what are you gonna do, right? At least in my opinion, it's like, what are you gonna do? Because to me, it's like, well, I don't know. They just don't have the same kind of like that these other Marvel superhero movies have. But hey, what are you gonna do? Like if you watch like some of the one that everyone says is horrible, or the two that people say are horrible, like just absolute horror, are Batman versus Superman, which makes I never understood that movie. I heard the synopsis for that movie, like the story for that movie, the idea of that movie, and I was like, but why would you pit two superheroes together? Why would they fight? Why would Batman and Superman ever fight? And then I watched like the first like 10 minutes, and I got almost immediately understood the whole movie. Like, oh, so one thinks he's better than the other, and we just kind of get them going, oh yeah, one wants to fight the other. It's like, oh, okay, makes kind of some sense. I'm not 100% sure what. I still don't get it anyway. That one, and what's the other one? The one with Will Smith. It's called, oh my god, Suicide Squad. And Suicide Squad. People say Suicide Squad was awful, and I didn't hate Suicide Squad. I did not think it was a good movie. I didn't hate it. I did not definitely didn't hate it. No, I didn't hate it, but I didn't think it was great. It was one of those weird movies. You're like, ew, what is this? It's not bad. It's not a bad movie. It's just I do not like it. It's like it's one of those movies where you're just like, but why? But why? It's because DC did some decent movies before that. So it did decent movies like the Batman movies and that kind of stuff before, and Superman before what they considered the DC CU, DCCU, the the DC Cinematic Universe. They actually had one, and it was connected with like 5 movies or something, and everyone just went, "Hey, there was a DC Cinematic Universe," and I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I'm like, "What? Why?" Like, see right here, I have the poster of Batman right here. I'll move the camera over. Right there. Right there. You see it? You see it? You see it? You see it? I like that poster. Like, I like the comic books. I've read some of the comic books. I mean, I don't follow any of the comic books because the problem with the comic books is there's way too many. It's always like 650,000, or you're at like 650, and you're like, or 1,000, or 1,200, and you're like, oh my god, or like even like 300, or 200, or 100. I'm like, or 50. I'm like, oh my god, I'm never gonna read this many, or 25, or half that, like 10. I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. So I usually get like the compilation books. Like if you look on my shelf right there, wait, yeah, there. You can't see it very well, but it's right there. There's a compilation of the I think it's is it the Sunday Batman like comics, like the good Batman comics? Okay, you know, I got those because I'm like, oh, maybe I'll read that one day. But I didn't realize it was volume two, but it doesn't really matter. They're not really that like you have to read volume one before reading volume two. But I mean, probably maybe I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, yeah. So I've read a few of those comic books. They're okay. They're always stories that I'm just like, okay, this is like issue 128. I have no idea. Like that one there is issue 164. And I look for it on because there's all these websites to read comic books free. Like it's called I think it's Read Comic Books Online or Read Comic Books Free Online, something like that. I just read comic books online. They got a lot of comic books, so like I found that comic book, so it's pretty good. It's a nice comic book. I mean, I don't know, I never read the issue, but yeah. And I don't think I'll ever be a collector of comic books. I don't know. For some reason, comics are not my thing. Maybe I'll collect like I don't know other things, but comic books are not one of them. Like I hear about all these new collectors now, like collecting things like uh new and packaged like sealed video games, and I'm just like, why though? That would be like buying a car and never being able to drive it. Like, no, 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 never, no, you can't drive that car. You cannot drive that car. I was like, why? It's like, well, because man, you got to keep it whatever. I'm like, why? I don't get it. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But hey, you know, no. Most people like, okay, a boxed game, sure, but a playable game. These games are going for like hundreds of dollars, and I'm just like, why would you waste your money on this kind of stuff? It's the kind of people that have money to literally burn. They have money burning holes in their wallets, in their pockets, that they're just like, well, I got so much money, I'll just buy random stuff, random schwid. I'm like, why? Why are you buying the randomest stuff just because you have money? I don't know. It's not like it's something you can then flip for like. Well, maybe you could flip $1 million afterwards, but like, why? You have all the money in the world. You don't need it. You know? I don't know. I don't care. I don't get it. I might collect like video games, not field video games, but video games. Like the video games you want to collect now are Wii and DS games because Wii and DS games are at that point in time when they're at like the cheapest prices ever, just ever. So you could buy like hundreds of games for like nothing. It's crazy. Because also if you want to collect a full set, I'm sure it's really easy because there's a lot of shovelware on both of those systems that everyone's just going, okay, look, the DS and the Wii have so much shovelware, it's insane. They probably have the most shovelware of any system ever. That was exactly the era. It was PS2, Wii, and DS that had the most shovelware, and it was so bad. It was crazy how much shovelware there was on those systems. Like a third, if not almost half of the whole entire library of those systems are shovelware. It's insane. It's insane. Because it's all crap. I say this all the time. I probably said this before in some way somewhere on a live stream or in a video or something. The Pick a franchise between 2006 and about 2011, and there was a random shovelware game for it that had nothing to do with anything. Like I think it was THX. Is that what it's called? THX, I think. They were the people, okay, that made all of those like really bad Disney games. THX. Video game. What do you mean certified T? What is T? Well, the company. What does that mean? According to Mobile? I'm so confused. Anyway, I think whatever those guys are. No, THX for the another guys. THQ or something? Maybe it was THQ? THQ? Maybe? I'm not sure. Anyway, those guys who made all the Disney, really bad Disney video games, they were just like. I think it was THQ. I think it was THQ. Yes. THQ. That's what I'm thinking of. Anyway, they made all the bad video games. And I know somebody who used to work there, and he would go to them like he would make them the video game, right? Because he'd get like the license to the video game months before the movie came out. So he'd make the video game, but probably even years, to be honest with you. And then the movie would come out, and they'd get tickets to the movie. They'd be like, yeah. You made a game, go see the movie, whatever. They'd go see the movie, and it'd have nothing to do with the video game. And they're just like, wait a sec, whoa. So what? We made it do what now? Why? It's like I don't know. Very bad shovelware games that have nothing to do with anything. That would sucker little kids into buying the video game because they're like, I love SpongeBob, I love Winnie the Pooh, I love Rugrats, I love Fairly Odd Parents, I love Yogi Bear, I love Phineas and Ferb, I love How to Train Your Dragon, and they were all crap. Lucky for me, I had a library that rented video games, and I rented all those video games before I actually bought them. Like I didn't go and buy any of these games. I wasn't stupid enough to buy any of these games. But but I did play some of the worst video games in existence. They were so bad because we were like, but you had that the franchise problem where it's like, oh look at the franchise that we think we love and we think is amazing and we think is fantastic, and then we get to doing it, we get to playing it, and it's like that is not my franchise. That is not my pick a franchise. You know. There were some pretty good, like there's some decent ones on there, like that are considered shovelware, but for most part they're crap, like absolute crap. So I'm like, eeh. And I'm so I feel bad for all those kids who got suckered into buying like absolutely crap movie like tie-in games, franchise tie-in games, where it's just like what? Well, they didn't know any better. It was sort of like back in the day with like NES games or Super NES games where like you bought a game and you had that because the other thing was a lot of people, me included, you got a game maybe twice a year, maybe if that, usually once a year. Usually got it once a year, and maybe if I was lucky, my parents would be like, "You can use your allowance to buy one game outside of like birthday and Christmas." I'm like, "Really, really?" and I usually think really long and hard, and then I just pick a random like franchise thing and it'd be crap. Anyway, but for those kids who bought one, you had to like that was it. They weren't buying you like anymore between until Christmas. So you had probably about like another 6 months, sometimes a little bit less, sometimes like a month, depending on when your birthday was. Sometimes your parents were lucky, or you were lucky, and your parents said if it was like a month between, okay, you can get another game, you can get two. But like you used to usually have to wait sometimes like 6 months, almost sometimes almost a year, like January, and then you have to wait till December, and that's like 11 months. That's crazy. Anyway, I infor- I, for- I fortunately could wait like six, so I had about half that. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is like, and then you'd be stuck with that game forever, and you just have to sit on that crappy game forever. I'm lucky that I got to the point of playing like DS games when you could get those crappy games for like nothing. So I got games like Zoo Tycoon 2 and what else did I get? I got a few crappy games for like nothing because I was at the point where like they realized that the crappy games were crap and they knew, okay, we're gonna put them out in like the dollar bin for like the bargain bin for like $1. Or okay, not $1, but like $10 as opposed to like 40. But yeah, you had that whole thing of just like the kid didn't know what was good or bad. Kid's a kid. Like, and also I was at the point of time where I knew the internet existed, but I did not know there was like ways of knowing these games were good or bad. I didn't really know what the internet was. I knew it as like a place to find random like flash games, and I knew it as a place to find random videos. But I didn't really know what you used the internet for. I was like, but what productive thing do you use the internet for? I was very much like, but what do you use it for? Honestly, what do you use it for? Hey, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, what do you use it for? So to me, it was very much like a random collection of like, kind of what the internet is now. Like just like the thing that you go, well, if that's the internet, you know, that is so stupid, or that is so useless, or that is so whatever, and you go, but that is the internet. That is the point of the internet. The internet is this weird conglomerate thing of like cat videos and nine cats and you know stupid animations and stupid people doing stupid things on the internet just because that's what it is. Like, wow, really? It's like, yeah, that's what it is. That's the internet. Because at my youth group, we were at my youth pastor's house, right? And we were watching videos, and he pulls out the video. He goes, "Okay, now I'm gonna make you really have nightmares." And he pulled out well, first he pulled out I Like Trains, and then he pulled out um, what's that video called? It was "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared." And one of the girls goes, "What is the point of this? Why?" And the brother goes, "Well, that's the internet." And like she's like, "I guess you're right. Like that's the internet. That's the point of this video. It's the internet. There is no point. You put something out there and you just go, you poop it out there and you birth it out there and you go, there you go." I think, why? It's like, well, because that's the internet. But yeah, so I didn't know it was good or bad. I kind of also knew it as like a guide place where you could Google something and like get information, but I didn't know that what specific information you could get. I was kind of just like, oh, I see. I and now I know, and now no kid can go in knowing it's bad unless you like actively make sure you do not at all look for reviews or look for things about things. I know somebody who watches movies and he solely just goes, "No, I am not reading any or watching any reviews at all. Not hearing about any reviews." So he goes into it blind all the time, and then he'll read reviews and be like, "How come you hated it?" or "How come you whatever?" Which I'm kind of surprised by. How do you get away from that though? How do you get away with not hearing anything about it? I don't know. He also thought the Wii U was a good system, so I don't know about his judgment about a lot of things. But hey, what are you gonna do? But that was the internet. That's the problem. It was a Good Mythical Morning, where like they had a thing was called the Internet's a Weird Place, and it was like a website where you could submit websites. So it's like, wow, and they pull out the weirdest websites, and you just be like, but what the heck, man? Why? It's like, well, that's the internet, right? That's the internet. There is no reason why. Why does this exist? Look, there is no reason why. My brother goes, there is no reason why. That's the internet. That's why it exists. And she's like, oh, yeah, I guess you're right. Because at the time, I was about 2013 or 14 when we went. This is happening like 2013, 14. So the internet had been a thing for a while. So like it's like, and we kind of knew what it was too. Sort of like YouTube and how YouTube used to be a nice place to watch like very short videos because YouTube liked short shareable videos. When people watched millions of times, right? They loved that was the big thing. That was a viral thing that went viral. Very short, less than like 2 minutes, less than 5 minutes, less than 2 minutes, and and they liked that, and then like shareable. So because it was short, they could share it on like Facebook or Twitter or email it to someone and be like, boom. You're like, oh, like, oh, I see, I see. But now it's longer videos, so I don't know. But that's the thing. So if you watch some of the videos before the big algorithm change, which was I think about 2013, 14, maybe 15. The whole thing where they changed the algorithm, where we had like ad apocalypse, and like the they changed the algorithm to being longer videos because they like watch time, not views. So, if you watch any video before that, you'll see that, oh wow, like they were short, quick, funny little like snippets of little things. There was not really like what we have now, where like they don't have content farms, they don't have TV shows, and they don't have night or talk shows or any of that kind of stuff. That's not a thing. We don't have that yet, and nobody knew what a million subscribers was, or 10 or 1,000, 100,000 subscribers was. They didn't have that stuff back in those days. So you look at it and you go, what a different place the internet was before. What a different place the internet was before YouTube. When you think about it, because there was video sharing, but it wasn't exactly good. It was kind of a little weird and esoteric. I mean, it was possible, but usually you'd end up like sending it through email, and it'd be really, really short, and it'd be like postage stamp size, and you'd watch it on like your iPod Classic, and you'd be like, "What am I watching? This is horrible." But you go, "But there's nothing better." So, because phones weren't a thing, so if your device could handle like MP4s or like videos in any capacity, it's like, whoa, wait, what? You know what I mean? Like, what? Whoa. To me, it was like, whoa, that's cool. Because back in the day, I think somebody handed me a iPod Touch. Okay, somebody handed me an iPod Touch and pulled up either a game. I don't remember if it was a game or a video, and they played. Like they hit the play button or they started the game, and I went, "What is this magic? What is this like? What is this sorcery? The heck is sorcery? This is amazing!" And like, it was it as like I think I was about 9, 10, maybe 11, and that just blew my tiny little mind. I was like, "What the heck? How? How are you doing this? This is some sort of black magic. How are you doing this?" And to me, as that kid, I was like, mind blown. Like, whoa, that's crazy. But in retrospect, it was very much like, ooh, like, it's a lot more. It was a lot easier to like to explain and understand than I actually thought. But as a kid, I was just like, mind blown, just blown. I was like, whoa, what kind of black magic is this? But I always wanted an iPod Touch, and then I realized, don't get an iPod Touch if you're going to get a phone eventually. Like I saw recently, it was like what, maybe 3 years ago, 2, 3 years ago. I My friend, okay, there were two friends. Okay, one friend got an iPod Touch, and the other friend was like, "Why would you buy an iPod Touch if one day you have to buy or need to buy or want to buy a phone, just buy a phone and no, and then you don't have to pay another 500, 600, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1,000, $1,200 for a phone and an iPod Touch." Kind of figured me out really quickly. But I said I want a music player, right? And the thing with that was my friend was also like, "Don't iPod Touch. You have to pay for every music, all the music. Get an MP3 player." MP3 player right here. Here it is. This is what I ended. Well, I didn't end up getting this. My mother got this, and then I just slowly became mine. but it was this right here. It was called a let me see, Hip Street MP3 player. This right here. It's like a weird thing. I don't know. It was back in the days when there was like everything under the sun. But anyway, so because my mom was like, "Whoopsies. Well, if you want a MP3, or if you want music, if all you're doing is music, get a really 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 cheap MP3 player." So I did buy it, or she bought a cheap MP3 player. So it was this, and I was like, "Okay, cool." So I loaded up a bunch of, because my friend was like, "Don't buy that. You need to pay for all the songs. Get an MP3 player because they're all free." So I'm like, "Oh, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Not that they're great, but not a bad idea." So I ended up getting this, and my brother eventually got a Sony Walkman. Well, like an MP3, because they turned them into like MP3 players. That doesn't work anymore, really, but he loved it for as long as he had it because his phone had like no storage. It was back in the day before 60 gig was like the minimum, so he had like weird like 8 gigs and 4 gigs and 2 gigs. Like, why? Why? Anyway, but so I got that because my mom figured me out. It was like, well, if you want only music, get music. Get an MP3 player. Because she realized, I ain't getting you anything with the internet or games or any of that stuff. Get an MP3 player, get music, that's it. That's it, that's all. And I was like, I was kind of like, because I knew, I was like, I wanted it for more than just that. But I was just like, you know what then? Fine. I just went, fine, you know what? Fine. I don't care. So I got it, and I put a few songs on it, and I think, what songs are on here now? Anything on here? Oh, yes, I know it's on here. JJ Icefish is on here. If you know JJ Icefish, it's probably the absolute worst song you will ever listen to. Ever. Just ever. Like, I'll play it right now. I'll put it in, and I'll play it. In this way, and then do, and then put it maybe up to the mic. Maybe I could do that. Okay, so it doesn't sound too bad, right? Come on, I want to play this better. Oh, that's what happened there. What is going on? Oh, you tell me what to do. Oh my god, that was the worst music you'll ever hear, ever. It's so bad. I don't know how